Alright everybody, sorry for the slightly delayed start. We are here for our first semifinals match of the night. I've chosen, because I don't think I've spectated him in a very long time, to spectate GazpachoSoup. And at the top of the screen, you will see Norrab, the former champion from a couple tournaments ago. Maybe a full year ago. I don't entirely recall. So we do see it's what appears to be a Dragon Priest against what I know to be a Freeze Mage for Norrab up top. And this is going to begin as a solo cast because my co-caster Scott is running a bit late tonight. He will jump in whenever he's here, and suddenly it will cease to be a solo cast. So, in the meantime, we see the Northshire Cleric come down. He's out of mana. That is the end of the turn. Norrab does have a handful of options here. Being turn 1, he doesn't want to use that coin. He just passes. This will be a bit interesting. Oh, and we do see Antonidas already in hand for Norrab. These two decks have been very popular lately. BlizzCon was just last weekend. If anyone was following along, you probably saw some Dragon Priests. You probably saw a lot of Freeze Mages. This may shape up to be a very long game. Blood Mage Stalnos comes out. I can't imagine that's exactly what Norrab wants, because in this case, unbeknownst to him, he just created a play. Now both players do get to draw a card, and board control remains in the priest's capable hands. He draws that Shrinkmaster, which does open up something to do on the next turn. The Twilight Guardian is probably the play we'll see, curving out nicely at that 4. Could be a bit of a smokescreen. He doesn't know what that secret is. It could be a mirror entity that might force him to play. I don't know if he would do a Shrinkmeister on an empty board, but that probably would be the best thing to give over. Because he's hovering over those two cards, it does make me expect that he fears the mirror entity. Meanwhile, let's take a look at Norrab's cards. Yes, the ever-important Ice Block. Well played by GazpachoSoup. Testing the secret, finds out its barrier, knows he can play the Twilight Guardian in confidence. And he has the much stronger board control play. He doesn't waste the Shrinkmeister. Let's see what Norrab can do. The Acolyte of Pain I don't expect will come down now that this 3/6 could one-shot it. Antonidas still a couple turns out of play. Frost Nova's viable. Flame Strike not yet. And Mad Scientist, which could be the more likely play here. Maybe the Mad Scientist ping face. He could just Ice Block and do nothing.
I'll show them. I'll show them all.
And it is the former. Back to you, Soup. Here on turn 5, the opportunities really have opened up for the priest.
I wield the power.
We see the Corruptor, a very clean play. Second Ice Barrier. That is a huge... Well, it was 44 HP. It's very, very rapidly declining. So he ends at a cool 40. How terrible. That would be a really big shield slam. Back to Norrab. He doesn't really have a great play this turn. Next turn, he can coin out the Flame Strike. I think he's probably going to do his best to just stay alive. Stave off what damage he can between now and then. With the 9 damage on board, That armor will not last that long. He did, though, draw a Loot Hoarder. He's got the option of just straight up cycling his own cards. He'll probably put that out. Maybe Ice Block. We could see a Frost Nova. I don't expect it.
Time runs out on me.
Let the pain speak to me. Mind if I roll knee?
Alright, doubling down on the card draw. I feel like this is a pretty good play by Norrab. Just seeing what's on the board.
I must consider.
You can trade the 1-3 into the 2-1. You can trade the 3-6 into the 1-3. But that only remains 5 damage on board to chip away at that armor. Instead of the full 9 that he could throw out, plus whatever minions he chooses to play on this turn.
I must consider.
I feel like at this point he hasn't seen too much of this mage. I don't know what sort of scouting Gazpacho's done. I don't know if he knows this is a freeze mage. He probably has an idea at this point, just based on the lack of activity.
Are you mocking me?
Alright, a little rushed at the end, but a well-played turn 6. And back to Norrab. Will he play that Flame Strike? It would clear everything except for the 3-5. It would be left as a 3-1. And it would kind of force the priest to rebuild his board from scratch again on turn 7. Alternatively, holding on to that coin really makes Antonidas generate an instant fireball. Plus whatever you could do with that mana. He's also watching his hand size. Because he did draw, essentially draw 3 cards in between the last 2 turns. He's very near to the cap. He doesn't have to play something immediately. But he has to at least consider it.
The end is coming!
No Flame Strike. We instead see the Doomsayer combo. Back to GazpachoSoup, who is now counting damage to see what he can do about this. No silence in hand. And I don't see a way that he can squeak out 7 damage.
I wonder.
He could draw a card, get something out of it by healing up that Guardian. He could heal himself. That's what he will do. Ooh, Chillmaw! I remember seeing Chillmaw on a lot of the very early Dragon Priest, I guess, prototype decks before people really hammered out the meta a little bit more. It's a card that I always liked. It's very interesting. I don't own it, so it has never made its way into my own decks. But congratulations, Gazpacho. Oh, meanwhile, I missed it. Norrab drew his second Doomsayer. He already does have that other Frost Nova in hand, so we could see a second combo come out once the priest has built up a bit more of a board here. In the meantime, though, let's check their card counts.
Time runs out on
Norrab has already seen 17 of his cards, and
Speak to me.
on the other side here, Gazpacho has now seen 14. So the mage would tap out a bit first.
Let me change your mind.
Their hand sizes at the moment are comparable. Of course, as I say it, now the priest has the acolyte on his side. So we might see these hands even up pretty quickly. Shrinkmeister comes out just to build up a bit more of the board. It's a pretty safe play. You're not committing any of your dragons, none of your heavy hitters. If you lose it to AoE, it's not really too bad. Norrab, again, has that ice block in hand. He's had it since the beginning of the game, not exactly what you want to see. We've only seen the one mad scientist. This seems like a pretty good play to do nothing. I bet he wishes he still had that Acolyte. At least draw one card out of it. Most likely, you expect two. Sadly, he got 0. Blizzard with ping is an option here. One thing, a play that I'm sort of anticipating during this match involves this Rend Blackhand, because it can just absolutely wipe a legendary minion off of the board. He has the dragons in hand to make it happen, and as you'll notice, Norrab has the Archmage Antonidas. Possibly the only legendary minion in his deck,
I wonder.
but a good one to be removed. That would also let him remove Antonidas over another Frost Nova. Would be lovely.
I must consider.
Alright, Gazpacho beefing up his board, doing a little card draw himself. And he actually makes the Acolyte the one that would survive the Flame Strike. Well, Norrab says goodbye to his armor. He is most likely not getting any more by the rest of this, the end of this game. Oh, and I forgot about Alexstrasza, of course. The Frostmage staple. That's another Rend target. At that point in the game, I think it might be a little too late. You want to do everything you can to boost your HP before the mage combos you down.
What to do?
Trying to do that 15 damage in a single turn. It's a bit out of reach at the moment for Norrab, but a couple more cards and that could be the case. All right, I want to mouse over the Chilmaw, just because we've got the time, and it's a card you don't see very often. It is essentially the Zoo Killer and the Patron Killer. That 3 damage can be very critical. It kills most minions. And,
Runs out on me.
it's basically a bigger abomination. A bigger, angrier, more dragon-like. Blizzard comes out. It wipes out one minion. Causes the card draw. Ooh, he might be trying to tap out the priest now. Thankfully, he only loses a Holy Smite.
Thank you.
Something he can part with in this case. It does bring the game a little closer. Both players only with 11 cards remaining in the deck. And we see the priest has a full hand at 10 cards.
I wonder.
There's remaining for the mage. Antonidas still there. That Frost Nova. Flame Strike. Fireball. Doomsayer. Ice Lance comes out with very little to synergize with. And of course the aforementioned Alexstrasza. Dragon Aspect of Life. Gazpacho hovering over the Holy Nova. Not a bad play here. Effectively does 7 healing. Adds 2 more on top. And despite that Acolyte, draws a card. I see in chat there might be some lag. YouTube now offers 2 settings. I'm currently in interactive mode, which is the broadcast is closer to real time, but it may cause lag. The alternative, I guess, is normal mode, which tends to have like 30 to 40 seconds delay. I guess what I'm saying is if most people watching experience lag, I will make sure the finals are done in the, I guess, normal format.
I wonder.
But for now, we're interactive. You guys can tell me when I made a mistake and it'll actually make sense. I like this board for the priest. He's not able to do too much damage in a turn, but it's very durable. It's just annoying without the spell power that maybe something like Blood Mage Stalnos would give you. It's just annoying for the mage to fully remove.
The end is coming!
The second Doomsayer is out. Again, I don't immediately see a way for the priest to deal with it. Let's see, between the Corruptor and Smite, even with a Villain's Chosen... Actually, that could work if he has 2 spell power. He unfortunately does not. No spell power on board. He could grant 1 more with the Villain's Chosen. And he doesn't have enough mana to play the Azure Drake in the same turn.
I wonder.
So as I said, this is an annoying board for the mage. It forces out the Doomsayer. And I think Gaspacho will have no problem building up yet another board. We are at the 10 mana crystals point in the game. Combos with Alexstrasza will become possible. The next turn, I think we probably will see Antonidas come out.
I bring life.
Ah, accelerating things a bit, going straight for Alexstrasza. It seems to me... Oh, wait. I missed this. He drew the Frostbolt. I stand corrected. The priest is in the danger zone. His best option here may be to play Rend to remove Alexstrasza and heal himself. That'll put him at 17. With the coin, he would still die, though, to that Ice Lance. But he doesn't know that. That Frostbolt really changed things. It was very timely. I guess... Realistically, Norrab should have expected it by now, considering there's only 9 cards left. Statistically, it took a long time. But he got it. This looks like this will be... Oh, wait.
You require my assistance.
He doesn't spot it. Well, there is our first missed lethal of the semifinals. However, he's got 5 fireballs. Maybe he's just showing off.
I must consider.
This will be a slower death for the priest. Only healing back 2 per turn. Oh, and unless things are out of order, he... There it is. Okay. He did not forget to attack.
Well played.
But he is dead nonetheless. He knows that this time he saw those fireballs. He doesn't know about the golden fireballs that were already in hand. Alright, Norrab's Mage takes the win. He advances with that class. It's time to pull out something else. If you're unfamiliar with the Conquest format, each player has come into this with 3 individual decks, each from individual classes. So in this case, the mage has won. The mage will not be played by Norrab for the rest of this semifinal set. However, GazpachoSoup has not won yet with his priest. He is free to play it again, and he does. We see Norrab pulling out the warrior. I don't know which archetype it is at this moment. We see some armor, we see a shredder. It's not really too indicative at this point. I would expect, just based on its popularity, that this is a patron warrior. He will not have the Warsong Commander to turn that into a very aggro deck. We did start the tournament after that patch hit. But it is still very viable. It is very hard to deal with for some classes. Let's see what GazpachoSoup can do with his Dragon Priest. He has a slightly better opening hand this time. More low-cost cards. He's got the Dragon Synergy already.
I wonder.
And as expected, here comes the 2/3 Whelp. Alright, Norrab wants nothing to do with this. Immediately comes out with a weapon. Reminds me a bit of Agrosh, one of the most successful decks in the early days of CSW. It was made popular by Mr. Wintense himself. And it was a great deck. I loved it. It was especially anti-Hunter and anti-Zoo, because using weapons and sacrificing your own health, you would take out all of the small minions that your opponent liked to put out. And then you hit the mid-game and just finish them off. Push through whatever damage you have left through a combination of spells and more durable minions. Norrab doesn't have too many options here. He can Armor Smith, he can Ghoul, or he can Armor Up. I think the safe play here is just Armor Up. Don't let the opponent play a Cleric and get a card advantage early. He puts down the Armor Smith, however. He's got his own plans. And very timely, as I mention it, the Cleric comes into hand. The Priest does have, on top of the Cleric and Heal that I mentioned, if he doesn't want to give his opponent any armor, he can play Power Word Shield, draw a card. He can also coin out that Hungry Dragon, which I don't expect he'll do at this point. Also in hand, he's got that Vol'jin Smite combo, which tends to be very good. You basically force your opponent to have a 2 health minion, and you smite it down in the same turn. It only costs you 6 mana. In this case, with a coin, it could only be 5. And it's a play that just feels so good to execute. It looks like he will give his opponent some armor, but draw a card at the same time, and put out that second minion. Pretty good, drawing that the Twilight Ray Whelp early. He still has that other dragon in hand. He's got the combo. Oh man. Welcome to the party, Scott. Time to fix my ventrilo.
Hey, how you doing?
Once you get here, we are in game 2. Norrab advanced with his Freeze Mage. GazpachoSoup is playing his Dragon Priest for the second round. Just to recap that last play, we saw Battle Rage, the Armor Smith gets sacrificed, and the Wormrest Agent is off the board. Gazpacho agonizing over his choices here.
I wonder.
So what's the warrior deck here? Is this a standard control warrior? It looks like.
I kind of feel like it might be Patron just based on the presence of the unstable ghoul. But I don't know for certain.
It is possible. What is the score we're looking at right now?
It is 1-0 to Norrab's favor.
All right.
Is someone injured?
So it was a bit of a late start, and then Freeze Mage to dramatically slow down round 1.
Blood Mage Thalnos is not a common warrior card. I'm really curious to see what this deck is.
That's a good point. I did not even notice that sneak into his hand.
Also, one of the things that I've learned through playing a little bit of Priest is sometimes, a lot of times, you want to hold the Northshire until you have a creature to heal. Especially in this deck, this is really one of your few draw mechanisms. So to drop it, without just to hope it'll survive, can sometimes be a little wasteful.
Yeah, that actually is the second cleric of the game already. He did play one on...
Well, they're both on the board. They were both on the board until it just died.
Right, yeah. The first cleric was, as you said, it was actually the second minion to come down. He did get some decent card draw out of it.
Oh, got it. Thank you. This is what I get for coming in late. Sorry, everybody. I'll be in the corner.
And now the warrior's in a position where he is behind on health, but it might be to his advantage not to play a minion at this point.
Yeah, Control Warrior doesn't always have to play stuff. And it's not like it's a very threatening board he's looking at either. I would probably just armor up pass. Maybe the only thing you could consider doing is playing an Acolyte and then hitting, but even still, you're still opening yourself up to have the Cleric draw a lot of cards.
Oh, interesting. Playing the Thalnos just for the cycle. Does not get any...
that is interesting.
No bonus damage on the Whirlwind effect. But a timely draw.
That is a lucky draw.
It removes the annoying cleric and also some bonus spell power.
And some bonus BM with the emo.
I must consider.
I don't see too much that Gazpacho could potentially do this turn. He can either ignore the Acolyte, he can smite it, he can kill it with the Corruptor. He can do none of the above.
I would probably play the Dragon, because then you've got the smite, you can flee the Hungry Dragon. Well, it's tough because you want to hold on to the Dragon so you can activate your Corruptor.
Exactly,
too.
and that has been his primary activator since the opening hand.
Yeah. Now, I do think that if you're gonna play the Dragon, you've got to play it first. Just in case. Just in case you draw something that you can smite, or you play something you can smite or handle somehow.
I used to hate Blood Imp so much. In its current incarnation, I'm fine with it. It's not too bad. It used to be...
You're talking the old, like, beta Blood Imp.
Oh, absolutely. One of the most frustrating cards to deal with.
What did that used to do?
It was stealth, and I believe it gave all of your minions +1 health each turn.
Yeah, I think you're right. I didn't play that early on. It was already changed by the time I started playing. But yeah, I remember people saying that was horrible.
Yeah, you're a lucky man. It really made Zoo the worst thing to play into. Turn 7, Dr. Boom. Not Not a very exotic play. It's what you might expect here. But it is a huge swing in tempo, I would say, into the Warriors' favor. It's the first time so far this game that he's actually had the commanding board and a card hand advantage.
Who be the war chief now?
This would be a great 10 mana play if you could combo the Holy Nova on top of it.
Yeah, I'm not sure about putting down the Vol'jin instead of doing the Holy Nova. You clear off way more of the board by doing the Holy Nova.
Well,
You can
trading
still
in the
kill Boom
Cultist
on
here
board.
is, however, going to give him basically something that can really only be removed by Execute. Oh. Gazpacho has different plans, though. He makes use of that smite that he's been holding on to. And I like this
Going
decision.
face.
Yeah, ignore the bombs at this point. The Warriors are already at half. You haven't really seen Mortal Strike as a viable tournament card in a long time. So it's okay to get that Warrior low. I mean, realistically, he has the damage to win next turn. That Blackwing Corruptor can be used to do 3 face damage.
Yeah, right now he's got 14 on board. I will find it hard to believe that he's not going to deal with something on the board, though.
Right.
He does have an Execute in hand. He can run one of the bombs into a Vol'jin and take care of that.
Yeah, that second Execute really, I think, is what's going to keep the Warrior alive here. Oh, very unfortunate bomb. And this is going to
That's not how
result...
you want to see that happen.
Yeah, this is going to be a very costly play that only results in 2 minions dying. Oh,
Yep.
no.
He was hoping to kill.
That-
I think he was
that's
hoping
game.
to kill off. Oh my God.
Does Gazpacho see it? I mean, even just playing the Holy Nova is... that's...
He couldn't activate the Corruptor. There was no dragon in his hand.
Yeah, but it doesn't matter. He's got 9 on board and the Holy Nova deals 2. That's still 11.
Yeah, you're right.
I
I was
don't...
still thinking about the Corruptor.
I don't know
Either
if he
way,
sees
no
it,
matter
though.
What he does, as long as he doesn't play Twilight Guardian, he wins.
Mm-hmm.
I must consider.
Oh, no. So that is
Oh, our
that is-
girlfriend Miss Lethal.
the second missed lethal so far of this semifinals match. There,
Oh no, what was the first?
Norrab with Ice Lance had lethal the turn after Alexstrasza, but did not go for it. Instead, it worked out. He played Antonidas. He generated 3 more fireballs and 1 on the next turn. But this could be a pretty serious misplay.
And that Execute is gonna hurt.
Oh, now he corruptors the face. That must have kind of triggered something in his mind. That
Let's hope so.
that is tough. Still that 1 Execute for the Warrior.
This is gonna be a long slog back for a Priest to find a win now. I mean, he can just. If I were Norrab, I would just Grom into the Corruptor and execute Vol'jin.
Be thirsty.
I like it.
Pain, speak to me.
I feel like Norrab instead realizes his time is very limited. He's gonna try to boost as much damage in this possible turn, or in this turn, as he possibly can, to set himself up for just massive damage in the next couple.
Yeah, because he can Grom with Inner Rage, and then, I mean, that's almost going to be lethal next turn.
Yeah, it will be darn close. Ah, this is heartbreaking. I feel like
Yeah, it's tough when you see the guy who had lethal and then loses it.
I think the only play is the Wormrest Agent, heal yourself, and consider Holy Nova. Warrior still does have 12 cards left. Priest with 14 to draw.
Mocking me?
Wow. Oh.
Well, that's pretty much exactly what Norrab would have wanted at this point.
Yep.
He's still digging.
Oh my god. I think he's just doing this for BM again.
Well, he has a patron now. He has the Whirlwind. He's got Inner Rage.
He's got all the tools to win.
And as you had pointed out, this is a pretty good board to bring out Gromosh.
Armor. Maybe.
Yeah, but at this point, you would Armor Smith, War Axe, Whirlwind, gain a bunch of armor, do a ton more with Frothing Berserker.
Mm-hmm.
Ooh, if he's gonna Whirlwind, that's a misplay, because that's one more point of damage you could have gotten on, and one more card you could have drawn. But yeah, he doesn't look like he's gonna Whirlwind. He might save that for next turn.
I'm surprised he's still absorbing face damage at this point. He did just generate a couple out of that Armor Smith, and he had the hero power.
Wield the power.
Alright, very timely Corruptor.
Lucky draw. Still, I think it's gonna be too late. The Armor Smith coming out, I think it's just gonna be a little tough.
Well, that's it. Oh, no, that's not, sorry. 21 health. I'm just looking at it. The Gromash combo is very viable at this point in time.
A fight. Count me in.
Alright, and now we get to see the micromanagement. How many patrons does he want, and how is he going to do it?
Yeah. Yeah.
Everyone, get in here. Get in here. Everyone, get in here.
An interesting use of the Inner Rage. It seems like he expects he can get a bit more out of this Armor Smith.
Mind if I roll need?
I still probably. I mean, you've got so much armor at this point. I probably would have hit.
Oh,
the axe.
man.
I would have hit it with my axe.
So with a single minion on the board, he would have the spell power to kill every patron using Holy Nova.
I must consider.
But he doesn't have enough mana to play the combo. And I don't see any way that that Guardian would stay alive long enough for there to be a follow-up turn. I'd have to say that's it. The Warrior takes this one.
I think you're right.
I must consider.
He's got 15 damage on board. He's got a weapon. He's got Gromosh. Yeah, that is easily 20.
Quickly.
Dread Corsair, because why not? I do like the inclusion of that card in this deck, just in general. At most points in time, it is the 1 mana 3/3 taunt.
Yeah. I do take issue again where, I had said last turn that I would have used the charge of the War Axe to take out the Corruptor as opposed to using the Inner Rage, because with this turn, if you had that Inner Rage, you'd have a 12 attack Grom, and the game would be over. So now you've got to delay it one more turn. And now he actually has a board clear in hand. Now that board clear is going to give a lot of armor.
Yeah, I'm...
Oh, it's not a board clear because he's still got Lothab, so never mind that. No,
Oh, no!
Never mind, I lied again.
Okay, never mind. I forgot that Velen gave it the additional help. Yes, that was a very good decision by GazpachoSoup on this turn.
Oh, but now the lucky draw of the Inner Rage does take care of it. But again, this game could have swung back that other way if that top deck hadn't been there. Now he only had 3 cards left in his deck, so it was in there somewhere.
I'm a bit surprised. He saw the Velen come down on that dragon. He knew that it grants the extra spell power, and he hadn't seen the Holy Nova yet that game.
There was 11 cards left in the priest deck. I think there's some point where you go, listen, I'm close enough and I'm far enough out of range with the armor I'm gaining that I'm just going to go for it, and whatever happens next turn, I'll find a way to win if I have to.
Yeah. Yeah, so that's it's a painful game to watch because GazpachoSoup is already down 1 game. He had that one all but tied up and ended up losing, and it's tough because now not only has he still not secured a win with his priest, he now has to just win 3 times in a row or he's out of the tournament. It's a position that nobody really wants to be in. It's very rare that we've seen the reverse sweep, but I gotta say, I'm cheering for him.
I think anyone who's not cheering for the soup is doing it wrong.
On the other hand, we've got a doubleheader tonight. Casting 10 games in a row is something I've never done before. So maybe it's best that this doesn't go to game 5. Alright, very...
I think you're a coward. I want overtime somehow. I want them to have a draw on the next game.
Client crash on turn 3, both players agree to remake. So a very rapid fire opening to this game by comparison to what we've seen the last 2. What's a paladin without muster for battle?
Reporting for duty. Reporting for duty.
Alright, hitting it with 2 knives works out. He does manage to remove the cleric before it can generate some more card draw. And we have many whelps in hand for Norrab, who's now playing his own Dragon Priest.
Many well.
I must consider.
It's just holding out for that Holy Nova next turn. He's hoping it's going to be big.
I mean, I expect we'll see the Quartermaster before the Holy Nova.
Oh yeah, I keep thinking, I'm looking at the wrong... Never mind. Jesus, sorry guys. I'm looking at Gaz's mana and being like, oh, Norrab's going to be on 5 next turn.
It's okay.
You're right. That Quartermaster is going to... Yeah, this is not going to be fun.
You are onto something, though. Like, Norrab has to be thinking, please just don't play Quartermaster, let me get the Nova. He has got backup. If he waits till turn 6, that Light Bomb will do some serious damage. But, then again, you've already received at least, 6 more damage than you would have wanted.
To arms, men!
There it is. If this pace keeps up, we will see GazpachoSoup winning a game. He holds on to the true silver champion.
Smartly.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's. I don't think there's going to be much he can do on this turn 5. The priest is kind of screwed here. Did not have enough tempo to keep up.
Yeah, I mean, Holy Nova is about his only option. It returns
But that's still
bit
not
of the
gonna save
damage.
him as
Yeah.
lethal on board.
Yep. And he saves us all some time. Concedes. We're going to game 4. I will be right back. I need to refill my water. Or else I won't make it till the second set.
Versus Anduin.
The light shall bring victory.
Let the hunt begin.
Alright, I see that GazpachoSoup, understanding that no matter what he's facing the priest, pulls out his hunter. Maybe he's a little more confident than his third deck. Oh yeah, the third deck, which we know is the priest because he hasn't won yet. I understand simple logic.
And he did have a feeling that there was a that it's a dragon priest because he saw the Twilight Whelp.
Ooh, bear trap.
It looks like Gaz is playing a bit of a mid-range hunter, maybe the hybrid hunter. You see a quick shot and a sludge belcher.
Yeah. There's always the potential. Maybe it's a feigned death hunter. It's rare. It's fun. And I don't think we've seen one yet in the tournament.
And you can't do the Worm Rust Rage agent. That doesn't do anything for you right now. There's no dragon in hand.
The damned stand ready.
Yeah, I'm gonna say it is feigned
It
death.
is a feigned death.
I love it.
That's excellent. I hope this works. Now I'm definitely rooting. I will always root for any non-optimal deck. Because I find that so much more fun. No offense to Norrab, who is a good person and a great player, but I'm rooting for him to lose.
You just want to see that priest on priest mirror match. I understand.
Oh, dreams. I played a game earlier this morning where I was playing my Dragon Priest against an Echo Mage, and I took it all the way out to fatigue, and he kept waiting to drop his giants, and I just left him. I stopped attacking, and he was at like 17 health, and he refused to play anything. And then he had an ice block up. I got him to fatigue and took him down to 1 damage, and he died on his next turn. So, Priest is fun. I'm glad the Priest got some love in the last expansion.
I can't believe this is only turn 3.
Yeah, Power Shot. That's got to be one of the first times I've seen Power Shot played competitively.
Wow,
I'm very
yeah.
excited about it.
Yeah, I don't think I've even seen that card outside of a Blizzard gallery.
Let's see. I think I played it in some Tavern Brawls. So I got it from that.
All right. I mean, it's not bad.
It was purely because it was like a predetermined random deck.
Yeah, if Explosive Shot is a little too expensive, why not Power Shot? The priest
Very happy
generally,
to see a dragon.
he is very gradually creating a hand advantage. But
Yeah.
as you said, he has finally drawn a dragon that unlocks a couple combos. We're going to see some board presence, I think.
I wonder.
I think the worm rest agent is correct over the technician,
Mocking me?
but I think it's pretty even.
I don't know. The 2-4 plays really well into Huffer.
Yeah, but I guess you're right. If it was a 3-5, there's no taunt, so you don't need to worry about it. That is a fair point. Yeah, but I would probably go Sludge Belcher over Loatheb here.
Yes, I agree. I think playing Loatheb without any immediate threat is basically just delaying one turn before you get hit by a Shadow or Death. This can play into an interesting Baron Rivendare if the Sludge Belcher stays alive this turn.
Yeah, I don't know if it's tough because I don't feel like it's impactful enough to drop it just for a couple 1-2s that could get Holy Nova'd.
Right. But knowing this is his last chance, he has very few options in hand. That very well could be the best play. Now the Shredder, though, changes things. He's got to be happy to see that.
It's tough though because again, you don't want to see that worm rest agent stick around. You really want to kill that off this turn, but it's expensive to kill it off this turn.
Yeah, he could do it at the cost of Power Shot or Unleash the Hounds.
Yep.
But that does really lock him out from making any other play other than Hero Power.
Yeah.
Quickly.
I mean, there is the self-preservation play. Put down Baron Revendare. Create the 2 oozes with Taunt.
Single 1/1. I don't think it's wrong to play that to clear.
No, I have no problem with that play.
I think that, what was it, a 4-9, a 4-10? You know, I think that all said and done, that could have been a problematic creature to get off the board. However, now I think the priest is going to play the Twilight Guardian and start rolling a little bit.
Yeah, one thing I haven't seen yet is, from either player, I think, is the was it the Cabal Shadow Priest?
Right.
This is not a horrible target for Silence. He doesn't realize that Ysera's in hand. He may have a suspicion. Or at least that it's in the deck.
Yeah, I would save the silence for a bit more of a crucial time.
But I think this is,
if I were...
from all of GazpachoSoup's decks, I think this is the only form of silence he's had. I still want to see that power shot do something this game. But I think it really missed its chance. The first couple turns with the low health dragons might have been the real only good shot.
My work is
Alright, he now does have 2 Death Rattle cards in hand. It's getting closer to the point where a Feign Death would make a big swing in this game. And actually, they're not too far apart in HP. So the game is not lost for the Hunter. It's just not looking great right now.
I mean, yeah, if he pulls a Sylvanas and a Feign Death, you know, with a Ysera and a Twilight Guardian out, you know, that could be a big swing.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, you're
Power shot! Alright, that does mean he wants to save his silence for something else.
This could be an opportunity to Light Bomb, take out the Shredder and then Light Bomb, but I don't know that that's great. Or actually, you could take out the Shredder and possibly Holy Nova.
Oh, yeah.
Depends on what drops out, but either way, I think you pop the Shredder.
He may come to regret using that silence.
Depends on what gets drawn.
Yeah, I mean that it's all now like what can get top decked. This is now this is a good power shot setup.
You're right.
Too bad. Ram Wrangler, a card we haven't seen yet. I do like it. It's just without sacrificing that owl, there's no way to call it into use right now.
Yeah, but it's not, you know, from the hunter's perspective, it's not the worst idea to just silence the cultist Death Rattle so you can kill it with Loatheb. Unfortunately, you'll regret it as soon as Ysera comes down, but them's the breaks.
Yep, you called it. Ooh, interesting.
Oh, interesting. Oh, that's very interesting. That's gonna take out. Yeah, you take that out. Now he's just left with a 2/2, and now he'll have Ysera. But actually, he's probably gonna Light Bomb next turn, or should.
The Holy Nova is a very good play here.
Yeah, Holy Nova is a better play than the one I had. Keep ignoring that.
It's insurance.
Yeah.
There are a few things better than just having a Holy Nova on hand. You're at full mana. Oh, that's another. So Norrab did show us earlier in our community that his Confessor Palatrus play is very strong. He's quite adept at summoning a whole board of legendary minions.
I guess he did not want to play the Holy Nova. He was a little anxious to get Ysera down and rolling.
I think you see a hunter with this few cards in hand, 5 damage on board. You can take that risk.
I think that's fair.
Well, the Elec Joust wins.
But that Houndmaster's not gonna. Oh yeah, I forgot. That's a beast. And we're gonna get 2 secrets.
And he is running too.
A snake and a bear trap. Oh, this game could get interesting now, folks.
I like it. This is quite a turn. Unfortunately, Light Bomb is very strong right here.
Still doesn't take out the Rivendare.
Yeah, but with an otherwise empty board, I feel like you can ignore him. And he feasibly could follow it up next turn with the Corruptor for that 3 damage.
If he walks into the dragon.
Excellent point.
I must consider. Move quickly.
Also, he's lucky that there was not a freeze trap as one of those two, because Ysera would have been unplayable.
Yes. Yeah, it was kind of surprising to me that he decided to attack there.
Yeah, I agree. Risky. Oh, useless BGH. Although maybe not useless next turn when Professor Paltris comes down. You gotta go for it though, just to put the pressure on. If
Yeah,
I'm in the
exactly.
position I'm playing.
Yeah, he must feel like he's playing from behind here. He, I believe, is going to show that he's a little more patient than we are. He's going to hold on to that BGH. There's still a lot more mileage potentially in this game.
Oh boy. Give me that Rivendare.
Yeah, why not?
Or not.
The power.
That's fine too. I guess there's really, there's little he can do at this point. Even with the living Rivendare.
But 1 damage every turn. It's a game of inches. The Eaglehorn bow did come at a pretty nice time. He got one very early in the game, and then, of course, nothing until now. What has he drawn? 18 cards.
I must consider.
Don't play Drake, play Paltris.
When you play Light Bomb with spell damage, does it do 1 bonus damage to everything?
It does.
Oh, really?
So what it does is all these guys would do, the 2 dragons would do 5 damage to themselves, and the bear would do 4 damage to itself.
So in this case, the spell damage actually may be a detriment to the priest and force him not to use that card.
Right.
To my side.
Ah, there he is.
Hey, Huffer.
Goodbye, Huffer.
Not sure what he's thinking there.
That was the
Keeping
play.
the taunt up.
Yeah, I feel like that's the only real play possible in that situation. Did you see something
But you could have
different?
taken out. Yeah, you could have killed. You could have taken both 3s into the 3/6, and then the 4/2 into the Azure Drake. So you only have the 4 on board. You don't have a taunt, but you've taken out the 4/4.
Ah, I see. Yeah, that is a good point. Okay, Norrab does secure his 3rd win. He's going back to the
And
finals.
that's that.
Yeah. So the Feign Death Hunter never actually gets to feign death.
Sad news.
It really is. I kind of want a rematch. Well, I guess it's time to find out if our other players are ready. So that was, if memory serves me correctly, a 3-1 victory for Norrab. GazpachoSoup made it all the way to the semifinals, which is, I believe, the farthest he's ever seen in our CSW tournaments. So congratulations to both players. Oh, and like a gentleman, Brett is leaving the stream so we can have a nice, honest match. Alright, both players are now in game. They say they're ready. I'm going to spectate a Balfizan. And if I'm pronouncing that wrong, I'll never know.
Oh, hang on. Alright, yeah. Okay.
Alright, I see them preparing to battle friends. What does he mean, follow us? That's not a thing. Alright, they're in game. Let's see what they've got.
Arway versus Medivh.
Let the games begin.
Light shall bring victory.
Beside the Medivh hero portrait.
Croff showing off the size of his wallet with his custom portrait.
And once again we see the all too familiar Dragon Priest.
Priest is making a solid presence here in this tournament.
Yeah, if I were to have to choose 3 decks, that would definitely be included in mine.
What would be your other 2?
Most likely some sort of druid that involves the Savage Roar combo. And probably Secret's Paladin.
Yeah, those are certainly the two strongest right now, and I'm not sure anyone is really teched against Secret Paladin at this point.
It's tough because most people who do tech against it weaken themselves to 80% of the rest of the meta. But it is always nice to steal some secrets from your opponent. I wouldn't fault anybody for including... I can't remember the name of that card, but it's a good include.
Wait, which flare?
No, the neutral card that steals the secret.
Oh, Kazan Mystic. No,
Yes.
see, that's another thing. With Kazan Mystic is not powerful against Secret Paladin because
It just takes one secret.
You're stealing a 1-mana crap random secret.
Right. However, just based on the number of hunters and mages that are also in the tournament,
Yeah, if anyone was playing Freeze Mage, Kazan Mystic is anti-Freeze Mage tech for sure.
Mm-hmm.
Nothing can stop me. Nothing.
I mean, at worst, it steals you 8 armor. At best, it lets you win.
Yep.
So this is a very interesting deck that Croff is playing. I don't even know what to say. I don't think I've ever seen a turn 3 Hogger.
Consider.
Well, that was an unstable portal.
Okay. Alright, things make a little more sense.
Does that help?
That absolutely helps. Jeez. But
What did you think he did? He like innervated it out?
essentially, yeah. I don't know, because I also see, like, he's got Antonitis, he's got Thorsan, he had Ronin in his mulligan and threw it back. Maybe he was just trying to show off every legendary he can fit into a mage deck.
Including a 3-mana Huffer.
Yes.
The Hogger.
It is the finest non-gold card in his collection.
That Hogger could keep things interesting for a while, though, depending on how long it survives.
Yeah, aside from a Shrinkmeister play, I don't see any immediate way to remove it.
Don't get complacent.
Someday I'll be just like you.
Oh, Arcane Blast!
Arcane Blast is pretty alright.
It's another card I'm not very familiar with it, because just as it entered the game, I stopped playing regularly.
Yeah, Arcane Blast is good in certain builds of Tempo Mage, and Brian Kibler had a really interesting Dragon Mage he was playing with, had a lot of high-end cards and Effigy and Duplicate and some stuff like that. And Arcane Blast works really well with Azure Drake. Yeah, it's pretty cool.
I like it. It does seem cool. I'm curious to see whether this Spellslinger comes out.
Yeah, let's see who gets what from the casino.
Wanted. Dead or
Come on, Holy Nova.
Mind Control, though.
Yeah.
For the priest, that's a second Mind Control in hand.
Yep. I mean, I would have to think that Balfizan's only running one Mind Control to begin with. So, yeah. He just doubled up. Or doubled down.
Could be a little greedy if he doesn't. Go ahead.
No, I'm not that cool with the poker lingo. I don't know what he's doing with 2 cards.
What the hell are you talking about? What do you mean pokerling? What?
Doubling down. I don't know if that's relevant. But it seemed good at the time.
Doubling down, I'm pretty sure, is a blackjack term.
Yeah, it's when you have 2 of the same and you can split them and then make individual hands.
Okay. What's he? Yeah.
That Hogger, though.
Hogger made a presence. Hogger made his presence known.
Yes, in a... let's say in a very powerful way. He really... It took a lot out of this priest just to remove. He did keep up admirably, still at full health.
By the power of Ragnaros, I have the power.
It's too bad he's not reducing more spells with that Antonitis in hand.
Yes.
Although there's no immediate way for him to do anything with his Thorson, he's going to get 2 off of it easily.
Mm-hmm.
Do you shrink Meister just so you can set up for to try to kill it next turn? Looks like you do.
Yeah. Seems to be the play here.
Being told from the Soup Man himself that doubling down is when you double your bet that the next hit will be enough for you to win. In case you were curious.
Oh.
Knowledge is power, and I
thought, yeah, I don't know. I do not play cards.
Then we all need a lesson.
love
Oh, interesting. I didn't even notice that Medivh has almost like a Shadow Bolt hero power.
Yeah. It's pretty cool. Medivh, to me, is the only portrait that I think is worth buying.
Or you don't like golden hammers that give you armor?
Eh. I'm not sure why he would bother. I guess I could see why you would take out the whelp. I could see that, so you don't get a free kill on the scientist. I can see that. At 5 mana Antonidas.
I imagine that's all he's getting out of it, but who knows what Elgin wants to do here. That was a pretty well done turn. Curves out nicely.
Now, if he slams down if he slams down Antonidas and Mirror Entity
Nice, yeah.
with a whirlwind, he could win in a couple turns because he can't do anything about it for like 3 turns.
Yeah, from what we see, that is absolutely the best possible play here. Because those 2 mind
Looks
controls
like he's gonna do it.
are still out of reach for 3 more turns. And the Mirror Entity steals the Azera.
No Shadow Word Death.
He does it.
I wonder if he runs more than one secret. Do we think Croff runs more than one secret? Looks like he does. Oh, that counter spell.
Yeah, I was going to say, like, a single counterspell is always a nice inclusion.
Oh, that's Sylvanas, though.
I have no time for games.
Job's done.
I have no time for games.
It's okay, you fireball your own Sylvanas and go to town.
That is an excellent point. It is a complete net game.
Yep. That is not an easy play to necessarily see, though. So let's see if Croft has his eye on that.
Yeah, that's something I did not immediately see. Like, you would have to play this kind of mage a couple times to really think about it.
I've also had the same thing in Warrior, where you've got multiple Sylvanas, and you can, shield slam your own Sylvanas, or you can Shadow Word Death your own Sylvanas as a priest as well. There's it's a lot of playing with Sylvanas that learns you those sorts of things. Sometimes the hard way when someone else does it to you.
No, he's just turning up the heat. Nothing to see here.
I mean, that's not a bad play either.
Can't really complain about that, no. Through order of operations, this will be an awkward Sylvanas steal.
Yeah, that's a well played right there.
Yep. I knew that was going to happen, but only because I spent a lot of time on Reddit learning what happens with Sylvanas.
When the Flame Waker hitting him in the face for extra BM.
Yeah.
Or hitting Ysera. You know
That,
what I mean?
that was a really cool game.
That was fun.
A lot of things...
So two slower decks, you know, not more mid-rangey, but also not standard ones that you see, and a lot of interesting options in how to play various hands.
Yeah. And we got a lesson on legendaries that you don't often see. Although sadly...
Here's my recommendation, everybody. Play 3-mana Hoggers whenever you have a chance.
Every time. Mulligan for them.
Yeah, always mulligan for your 3-mana Hoggers. That card is so OP.
Shall bring victory.
I'm sad that we didn't get to see Ronan come out. We probably won't have a chance to see him come out. At least today.
Ronan is a lot of fun with a couple of Flame Wakers. Or an Antonitis.
Yeah. Alright, the Priest coming out again. And meanwhile for Croff, we have what looks to be a pretty standard Paladin.
Yeah, standard mid-range Paladin. Oh, except there's a secret in there. Is it a mid-range Secret Paladin deck? Maybe.
Put this apple on your head.
I mean, I could see competitive, what is it? Competitive Spirit. Combos
Yep.
just well with muster for battle in general.
Yeah, I don't play as Paladin frequently, so my favorite thing is when I think they have a competitive Spirit up to kill everything but one lone Silverhand recruit, just so they get they paid 1 mana for +1/+1, like a banana.
Yeah. That's a good call. Or, as we'll see very soon, the Explorer's Hat. I think that costs 2 mana.
Yeah, but then you get it back in your hand afterwards.
Let us see if this
It's gonna make that Feign Death Hunter even stronger. Hats for everybody. It's very timely use of the True Silver Champion.
Yeah, quite efficient.
And Elgin, who has a handful of spells, can't be very happy that that happened. Yeah. He begrudgingly has to play the Twilight Guardian naked.
I think playing Shredder competitive Spirit's pretty good here.
Yeah. Yeah, especially with the Divine Shield.
Well, you could even trade in. I would probably trade Minibot and True Silver.
Well, you asked for it.
I'm just saying the thing I would do. Not saying it's right. I'm just saying it's what I would do.
This is Scott plays Hearthstone. It's like the one man.
I call him. Yeah.
So competitive.
It's so competitive.
And tournament.
Jesse Trueheart. Jessica Trueheart.
That's actually one of the better looking gold cards too.
I was gonna say that gold card's pretty badass. You got the steam coming out of the horse's snout, like that. Nice detail.
Is it a war unicorn?
I think that's just armor.
No. It's not nearly as majestic as I was hoping.
And Croft's got a sword of justice that'll go well with these Silverhand recruits.
Let me think.
On the other hand, Elgin has a very good setup for these bombs. There's potential for great value.
Follow the rule.
Unfortunately, Dr. Boom has not been following the rules.
Sometimes you just gotta remind them.
Yeah. Yeah, that turned into a very good play for Croff. RNG into Thalnos notwithstanding. That was well played. It was curved out. It was thought out well. The only downside is he's left with only 2 cards.
Oh my god, Blinktron. What is this deck? Love it.
Reporting for duty.
Silverhand Bros.
Reporting for duty.
Seriously, that hero power looks like a double dragon cover.
Yes, it does.
A light bomb here would be good, but we're not going to see it.
Billy and Jimmy can't wait to get out there and fight some dragons.
Oh god.
Yeah, it's unfortunate that curving out well, playing Sylvanas, healing yourself, actually feels like a lackluster play. Just because the Paladin has such a great board at this point. And there's nothing to trigger Sylvanas aside from your own Shadow or Death.
I still probably would have played Tyrion there, even though you've got a chance for Sylvanas to steal it. I think, I don't know, it's still so unlikely. But he's going with a safer play.
Yeah, I mean, he's behind on cards. At this point, a light bomb would do serious damage to his board. So, yeah, as you said, it's the safer play. Turns out it was neither the right or wrong play. Just something to do.
Mocking me?
Yeah. It looks like Croft's about to go up 2-0.
Ah, that's just insulting.
Quickly.
Play Blingtron.
Yeah, why not? Well, aside from...
Come on, let's see what... Oh, boo.
He doesn't want everyone else to know that he plays Blingtron, Scott.
Well, everyone's watching this stream, so they're gonna know. And I hope they all know how disappointed we are.
Malfurion versus Gul'dan.
Your soul shall be mine.
I must protect the
Oh, I forgot to fire the rocket. Sorry, guys. I had it all lined up as a victory fireworks show. Alright, so Balfizan's final deck is Druid.
Druid against what looks to be Demon Lock.
Yeah, yeah, that's what I see.
I'd probably innervate out the Azure Drake to use the mana.
Yeah.
From the void I come.
Huh. So at this point, the early Void Caller would only pull out the Dread Infernal.
But not knowing that.
Yeah, that very good bait against the Druid. And I think either way that goes, like, there's nothing wrong with having an early Infernal.
An early 6/6 will do a lot of work for you.
Yeah. Yeah, this would be a pretty good time to play Emperor before Siphon Soul really becomes a threat. Oh, and good use of the Inspire mechanic.
That's a pretty smart Shadow Flame. May seem a little weak, but I think that was the right decision.
Yeah, and it cost him very little.
I probably would have Azure Draked there. Maybe I'm wrong. That's probably what I would have done.
He didn't get all that
Because you weren't
much.
reducing playing force in there, you're not reducing any cards that are important to the combo.
Exactly.
You're not reducing either a Force of Nature or a Savage Roar.
Yep, on the other hand, he just saw Shadow Flame. He feels it might be pretty safe to put out both Drakes here.
Right.
Known to us, the other Shadow Flame is in hand. And even an empowered Hellfire at this point could wipe the board.
I wonder. Almost out of time. So many possibilities.
That's a tough turn for Croff.
Yeah, there's not an obvious right play.
I must safeguard the land.
Wow. The 5 damage Wrath.
He does have not quite 2 Chargers and a Savage Roar next turn. Not quite.
Yeah.
But he does have 1. If with the Savage Roar, he actually has lethal next turn.
Nice. Yeah. That's
With a Druid of the Claw in charge form plus Savage Roar, that right there is more than lethal.
Mm-hmm. So what potentially could Croft do? Void Caller would not be enough with Shadow Flame.
No, I'm not sure that there's much he can do right now. I mean, you could Hellfire and Mortal Coil one of the Drakes. That would at least, but I don't know that. I don't think that would save you.
I don't think so, because it still does 3 damage to himself as well. And now that he's tapped, he's putting himself even deeper.
Now that's going to be game, provided that Balfizan sees the play, the charge Savage Roar play.
Where shall I strike?
It looks like he does.
Well played by the Druid. And we're going to be seeing this Warlock once more.
Well, this one won't be a sweep.
Anduin versus Gul'dan.
Your soul shall be mine.
The light shall bring victory.
Back to the priest deck. Here's the question: is Croft's entire deck golden?
It looks darn close to it. And those golden giants are not easy to create.
Is someone in?
Yeah, golden epic is the same as a legendary, so not cheap.
My mouth very rarely explodes.
Winning the joust.
But not really doing.
Yeah,
He's still gonna be able to draw a card off of it. So
It's not earning him all that much.
right.
But it's cheering up his troops. They're excited about this.
It's important for all of us, I'm sure. Shadow Word deaths, light bombs. He's got some answers if we start seeing some bombs come down.
Yeah, and even having Sylvanas and Vol'jin this early, the fact that Croft is letting the priest just basically idle and get his free life taps in, I think it's going to work against him because we're very near to any of these cards becoming playable. Oh, we're being told in chat, if you do have all gold cards, the coin will also be gold. So that is an indication that they're not. I never knew that.
Yeah. Yeah, that's true. That is, if you see a golden coin come out, then you know you're playing against someone who has all gold cards. I'll leave the further judgments to others. But yeah, the Hellfire, Loatheb, Fearsome Doomguard, Jiraxxus, not all of his legendaries are gold, which makes sense because that is expensive as hell.
It's room for improvement.
I think I have 2 golden legendaries. How about you, Wei?
I'm not certain. I think I might still have a golden Gazrilla kicking about somewhere.
I got a Ysera. Well, one of my first handful of packs I opened was a golden Ysera, and then I got a golden Velen recently, which was also nice.
Oh, congratulations. The cleric's gone, but we're back to this healing the minion anyway.
Yeah, the golden Velen is nice, but it's not like it actually goes in any decks. This could be a decent Vol'jin target.
I think he can hold out. Mal'Ganis. That's a good one to hit. We haven't seen mind games in this deck, although we did see it a lot at BlizzCon. That was kind of a surprise.
So many possibilities. So many possibilities. Almost out of time.
Yeah, these turns becoming very difficult for both players.
Defender doesn't do much. Not unless he dark bombs that, in which case it does alright. I don't think the Holy Nova play is bad here.
Yeah, because he had the 2 in hand, did seem a very low risk play.
Yeah, I agree with that.
I mean, he knows there's going to be more targets for it, but he's in pretty good shape otherwise with the rest of his hand.
The tough thing is, you know, you're playing against a slower deck that's not going to be playing a lot of small minions, so Holy Nova is not really that crucial of a card, where a Shadow Word Death could be pretty crucial later on.
Yeah. I think if the Nova would have actually killed anything, he might have considered it, but nothing needed healing and it wouldn't have improved his board.
That Fearsome Doomguard sure had an entrance theme there.
Yeah.
Not sure what exactly it was he said, but he sounded upset.
He's very verbose. You saw Jiraxis do it. He thought maybe that looks cool. See, you got it.
That was my impression. Was that good? Was that
Yeah.
accurate?
Yeah.
Thanks.
You should join the Burning Legion.
I should record that and send it into Blizzard and offer to do further card interactions for them.
I'd say that's a good use of the silence.
I think so too.
You're not going to find too many better plays against the priest.
Good opportunity for Dr. Boom here. Yeah, I mean, what you did, that silence did 6 damage. You're happy with that. 2 mana, 2/1, deal 6 damage.
It's balanced.
So many possibilities.
This is an especially tough call for the Warlock. There's a lot of things he can do, but nothing really stands out.
Almost out of time.
Wow. Wow, that's lucky. I think it's decently safe here to go Worm Rest into Azure Drake.
Mocking me?
I certainly think that was a good play.
Yeah.
So he's got 6 on board. He's got 2 in hand with Velen's Chosen, and then he's got 3, so that's 5. Plus he's got +1 spell damage already on board, so that's 4. He's got 12 in hand. He's got 12 immediately. So if he taps,
Or even playing the
that's
Infernal.
game. Or plays an Infernal. But if it looks like he's hovering over that Sun Fury Protector, thinking he wants to taunt it.
I wonder.
Actually, that won't matter. No, never mind. Oh, if he doesn't taunt it though, he's done, and he's not gonna have the mana for it. Let's see. Well, let's see. Velen's Chosen plus Holy Nova.
Yeah, no, I
And
think
you want it now. Here's the thing: you want a Holy Nova last, because if you accidentally pull down a Mal'Ganis, that's gonna screw you up. So your Holy Nova's got to be your last card played.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
Now he doesn't have a Mal'Ganis in hand, but if he does, from the priest perspective, if you hit him and then Mal'Ganis comes down, he still dies. Yep. Again, slight misplay.
Oh!
He missed lethal. Oh my god.
He absolutely missed lethal.
Quickly.
Ugh.
Wow, I can't believe it.
That's so heartbreaking. No, he does. No, he doesn't have it. Not after this Siphon Soul. Oh. You know, I in both of these matches now, we've seen that happen, and it's tough. It's very easy for us to sit outside. If you guys, watching, haven't sat in this in the hot seat, especially while someone else is announcing all of the plays you're making, it can be very hard to think straight. I don't blame them.
I think the toughest thing is he saw exactly what you saw. And he did the math, and he said, this is going to work.
Well, luckily that Ysera could just win the game for him here. That last Siphon Soul. And actually, yeah, I mean, I'm assuming he's going to play Jaraxxus. Or I guess you could Floating Watcher, or Floating Watcher plus Ancient Watcher. Taunt him up.
Yeah, I like this. Ysera with Light Bomb is fantastic because she's essentially bomb-proof.
Actually, you know what you could do? I think he can still. He's again. Here's lethal again. You ready, folks? Do you see a way?
Not immediately, no.
Velen's Chosen on Ysera. Light Bomb, which gives you the
Oh,
plus
the
1
extra damage. Yep.
damage.
And then Nightmare.
And then Nightmare.
Yeah, that's actually overkill. Alright, he's with you so far, Scott.
And he passes.
Alright, he saw it this time.
And we're even at 2.
Yeah, we're going to game 5. Catching up with the live cast. There was that second where it almost looked like he was going to attack without using Nightmare. It's so scary. Oh, right. Shaman. That was his third class.
Totem Shaman.
We saw this last week.
Shaman might not be a bad matchup against, depending on what he's running, against a Warlock type character like this. Oh, that Earth Shock is going to help against the Twilight Drake.
Oh, for sure. Yeah, it's going to be crucial.
Ah. I'm telling. Ties should win in jousts. Ties should win.
It's weird.
It would make these joust cards a lot better.
Initially, I expected that would be what happens.
Did you bring some fish?
Now I kind of agree. Like, it would be a little bit of BS if ties won.
Minor note: if you're playing a Tuskar Totemic, you want to play it to the left of a character in case he summons a Flame Tongue Totem. If that healing totem was a Flame Tongue, you miss 2 damage.
Oh, well, yeah.
At least two. At least 2. Ongoing could be more.
Huh. Well, that is the last creature in hand.
He's hoping he's going to play that Twilight Drake next turn.
Yeah, things could otherwise go poorly for the shaman.
Let's see if Croft picks correctly.
Well, he has to play it sometime.
Yep.
And luckily for the shaman, he does draw another minion.
Healbot is probably the way to go here.
It's kind of surprising that at turn 5, Healbot's pretty much necessary. But if things keep up as they're going, yeah, that would be a very quick game 5.
Did you bring some fish?
And really, if he can weather the storm and wait another turn or two, his hand does open up to him.
Yeah.
But right now, he's praying for Hellfire.
Does Balfizan run a Bloodlust in his deck?
I feel like he should. I think we were expecting it the whole time the other night, but I don't recall if we ever saw it.
Yeah. Because I mean, if he draws a Bloodlust, that's game.
What is the like Totemic Wrath or something?
The what?
There's a spell that buffs all totems. That I think it's a classic card even that is rare.
You thinking the one that gives plus health?
Oh, perhaps that's it. Totemic Might? Is that what I'm thinking of?
Yes, Totemic Might. You don't want to run Totemic Might. I'm gonna help you with that.
Overheals for everyone.
Yeah, if that Vitality was either a Flame Tongue or a Mana Tide.
I wonder. I see.
Oh, drum roll, please. That is possibly one of the best cards he could have asked for to come out of that shredder.
Now this is tough.
Well, that's...
He's not going to be able to inspire.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, I think that's fine.
I like it.
I think you should just push face at this point. Maybe take out the Lotheb with your Totemic.
Yes, exactly.
But push face, because even if you've got 2 hexes in hand. You know, don't worry about the Moltons, just push.
Oh, the dream is real, Scott. Reverse sweep. Looks very likely.
We'll see.
He's pretty well equipped.
Is he?
Lightning storm, couple
He's thinking of
hexes.
trying to Shadow Flame.
Can always inspire some more.
So many possible.
Yeah, I mean, there's not too many great options here.
Yeah, you're right though. Shadow Flame and then play the other Drake. It's
Though if he had played the other Drake first, he would have had been a 4-8 instead of a 4-6.
oh yeah. Shadow Flame would have done nothing to his own cards.
Yep.
This is getting close.
This is gonna be down to the wire. This is gonna all depend on what's drawn.
I think
Pops out of the shredder.
Yeah,
What's the
I mean-
top deck?
Croft's considering, does he Siphon Stall the Shredder?
I don't think it's a bad play.
It's not bad, but it's risky. I mean, even this, the spell power and giving a card to your opponent is definitely not the desired effect.
My shield for Argus.
Yeah, good choice with the Argus. The two most disposable minions get taunt.
I would, yeah, maybe. I would have tried to keep the totem if possible, in case you drop another Thunderbluff Valiant. Like, he's got those Dread
Yeah.
Infernals in hand, you're gonna
No,
lose your
that's,
totem.
that's exactly what he did. Oh, I see what you're saying. I got it. Yeah. I don't think you can, as the Shaman, you can't feasibly play around the Infernal.
Yeah. Well, that's a useless healing wave.
Mm-hmm.
I would just, yeah, totemic and wait. He's getting that clutch 1/1 though.
I guess the best you can hope for from this healing wave would be a second Ancient Watcher.
Wow. Oh my god. I was gonna say if he top decks a Rock Biter.
Well, incredible.
Croff would have saved himself if he had Jiraxxus instead of Dread Infernal. Well played to Balfizan.
Man, that was a very intense game
Close
5.
set, reverse sweep. And we're off to the finals with Balfizan and Norrab.
Yeah, that's going to be pretty exciting. They're both going to watch these replays. They're going to study each other. They're going to see how much lethal they each individually missed. It's going to be...
Here's a hint. Lots.
Yeah, well, now they're practiced. It'll be a finals of no mistakes, just pro level play. It's gonna be awesome. It's gonna be awesome.
We are both looking forward to it.
Yeah. Well, I've talked for the last 2 hours. So thanks for watching, everybody. I don't know when the finals are, but as soon as we have something scheduled, we will make it happen.
Indeed.
All right. Have a good night. See you next time.